Here's something a little different. Stage fright. We're all talking about this guy. Well, we're talking about a lot of things, but in particular for this one, how he just kind of quit. He's like, I can't do this. Breathe, dude, breathe. But as you'll watch this, you'll understand that it really is stage fright.
Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I just want to let everyone know that we've been working very diligently the last several months to implement the board.
So as he's talking, you'll notice that he looks at the audience. Mentally, when you are going, especially if anybody who has been in speech class, they tell you, look at your audience. If you can't look at them, just imagine they're all naked. Basically, psychologically, that at least you're not naked, even though you feel like you're naked. So they keep telling you, look at your audience, look at your audience. So mentally, he knows he has to do that. Look at my audience, look at my audience. But his eyes constantly going down because he doesn't want to look at the audience constantly. And he's not saying anything that would cause that kind of anxiety or stress. It's just the anxiety and stress of speaking in front of an audience. And then the hyped up version of this is really important. I'm stressed because I'm speaking in front of people. I'm stressed because what I'm saying is actually really, really important. I'm stressed because I have to calm people down and I'm not calm. Someone of this anxiety level should not be giving speeches, at least for the duration that they had this poor man up here for.
Supervisors approved Election Day and emergency voting plan. But in the last several weeks, there have been some issues with us.
And then you see his body twitching, like shoulders go up and down, like he's literally dancing. And that's because it wants to run away. It's got so much pent up energy from the flight or fight response that he's literally dancing.
Being able to identify enough supplies, whether those be cleaning supplies, and then we also had some polling locations fall out over the last few weeks. So last night with the board, we made the board made a decisive action to approve a plan and give me the direction to be able to reduce the number of voting locations that we would then be able to provide those voters and those voting locations with the supplies they need, those cleaning supplies, those sanitation supplies that we can then disinfect those high-touch surfaces in those polling locations. So those voters, if they wanted to vote in person, they'd be able to have that polling location be available to them, and then our poll workers would be able to make sure that all those high-touch surfaces were cleaned.
See, that's all I needed to say. That was it. He's gotten through it. And we don't know what anyone else really is doing around him other than the guy that he really can't see, who's just watching him, to see what the feedback is to him in a body language sense that says, okay, you have relayed your message well enough that you can now be done and step back. Apparently that didn't come across because as you see.
So what this plan does is that we had 229 polling locations available prior to the plan, and then after the board's vote, I went and performed an analysis to make sure that all those voters had 151 vote anywhere vote centers. This now, we're taking this from those voters had 41 voting locations before these 151. Now they have 151 vote locations that they can choose from.
And he thought he was done. So he's like, okay, I'll break it down even further. And at the end of that, you see him with his head rise up and down like, okay, this is the final. This is my period. My body has given you the period. And then he looks around to the people around him and is like, okay, I'm done. You're supposed to step in now.
And then with that, we're also going to be providing...
No one gives him any feedback. No one stops him. And he wants out.
Those voters with the options and the ability to... I'm sorry, I can't do this.
And he can't do it. He's done. I can't do this. I gotta give those. And the other guy over there, he's smiling, laughing. Because I'm pretty sure that the people who work with him know that he's got horrible stage fright. And I almost would not be surprised with some personality in there, because just how people are, and you always have like a good mix, that there's a joker going, I know he needs to be rescued because he's freaking out, but I'm going to leave him there to freak out and then make fun of him later. And I almost thinking it's the purple shirt guy who's smiling.
Go ahead, Steve.
Well, first, I want to remind the public that the ever-changing...
So they watch him, make sure he's, okay. He's not hyperventilating. I'm sure he'll be fine. He probably is one of those types, considering how much anxiety was coming through, that does sit down, put his head between his legs and breathe deeply without going and throwing up. So we finally get to the point where he says, okay, I can't do this anymore. And he's leaving, and he leaves quickly. The anxiety has built up, and people who are really bad at it, again, they can be nauseous, cold sweat, dizziness. All those symptoms can occur. And before you make a bigger fool out of yourself, you want to run away because you know it's coming. I don't think at his age that it's ever going to get better for him. He just should not speak in public.
Thank you to Bombards Body Language. If you invited at least one person in February, we kind of feel like, yes, if we can keep doing that, we're going to keep growing, and we're going to achieve what we want to achieve, what we all want to achieve together, right? I think is, content freedom, man.
If you'd like to learn more about analysing body language, there is a video course available on Mandy's website for Gold subscribers, where Mandy teaches more about her techniques of deception detection. There's also other content such as the Crime series and Interesting Minds series, available to both Gold and Silver subscribers.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.